Hey there, it is Emily from emilyarons.com, and this is part two of my wonderful story about taking a leap into the unknown. And the reason why I'm making this video series for you, it's unlike anything I've really done. I usually do a lot of Facebook Lives, but I wanted to record this for you because right now, as you may or may not know, I am expecting to have a baby. So I'm at the end of my pregnancy, and I really wanted to share this message and share it with you guys intentionally right now so that I couldn't miss an opportunity to talk to you about this and encourage you to really start to follow your passion and really get on your life's path and do amazing work. So this is part two. If you haven't watched part one, I would highly encourage you to watch part one. It's my background story of like where I came from and what brought me to this place where I am right now. And there is a third video that's a bonus video for this little series. So stay tuned for that after this one. So I wanted to share with you my personal story for a number of reasons. Number one, because sometimes when you look at somebody who has got some success and they're doing great things, and they have this tribe of people, you think like it's easier for them. And oh, well, you know, they have all these people following them and they're already making money, but what about me? And I have to say, like, this success is relatively new. I struggled for most of my career, not making money, staying really broke, and just continuously perpetuating that brokenness with all the things that I was doing. And it really wasn't until I started praying for help, realizing the power that I felt in my body, and I knew I wanted to serve at a higher level. I just didn't know how to do it. And it was like all of a sudden my prayers had been answered when I found James Wedmore and Business by Design. And so I really have to attribute a lot of my success to my work ethic. But when I found Business by Design, it was like suddenly somebody turned the lights on. And it was like I realized I had been doing business wrong all along. All this time I had been doing business wrong. And so that's part of why I want to share this video series with you, because I don't know if I'm going to still be pregnant or not. And I know that Business by Design is so important for me. Well, it was so important for me, and I guess it still really is, that I didn't want you to miss out on the opportunity just because maybe I had a baby, or maybe I'm having a baby, or maybe I'm just so close that I can't share this message. So any case, it's like I wanted to be able to automate this in a way because I really feel this message so deeply in my heart and in my soul. And it's not because I have to, it's because I want to share this message. And I know that it can touch so many people and help so many people. So when BBD first came, I was in the beta version of it. So it hadn't been really fully worked out yet. It was still sort of being tested. There were a lot of kinks in it. There was very small group. And I was really fortunate to be part of this group, and I felt a real great connection there. Part of that connection really came because I reached out a lot in the community. So I took the classes and I asked a lot of questions, and I felt this real connection with the community like I had never before. I was never previously in any community where if you had a problem, you could just ask somebody, and then like 10 people would be able to be there to help you answer it. And a lot of times people were so generous in that group that they would take time out of their schedule to be on a video call with me, or even just like private message in Facebook with me to help me work through any issues that I had coming up when I was trying all these new things. And again, this is all about leaping into the unknown. And I realized that what got me here won't get me there. So I had to start doing everything new. And I can remember that October of 2016, and I was really adopting this, like, don't do everything that you've been doing, do everything new. And I was learning all these new online systems and platforms, and it was like my brain was almost exploding. But I had the support inside of the BBD community to help me through each and every phase of it. And I was able to sort of grow incrementally with their help. And we had this live, so James hosted a live event, the very first Business by Design Live. It was in August of 2016. And I can remember I was still a relatively new mom. My son was like a year and a half old, and I had not left him for more than a few hours really. And so I was taking another leap of faith and praying that I could have support from my husband and my family to be able to go there, because that meant me flying again, spending money, staying at I got a really cute Airbnb actually, and then being away, being 3,000 miles away down in Laguna Beach, California. Um, and then somebody would have to come to my house and help my husband with my son. So I prayed again, and again, a miracle came to me because my mother-in-law was able to stay at the house with my husband and support him in the house. While I was away, I got a really amazing airfare. I found an adorable Airbnb, and I was able to go to that event. And I remember flying out there, and as soon as I arrived, it just like, I was filled with emotions. I felt, on one hand, I felt really unworthy to be there because I was getting to know some of the people in the community, and they were incredible people, and they were starting to, I was seeing their success, and like, it blew me away. Like, there are people in there that were having like $50,000 sales days, like a 1-day sale, and they made 50 grand. I was like, oh my gosh, I made $12,000 last year. Like, oh my gosh. And for me, it was like blowing up the cap of what's possible. So it was like, on one hand, it was like, wow, you can do that. And the other hand, I'm like, I don't belong here. I just barely made $1,000 this whole month. So on one hand, I was like, I'm not worthy. This is like, I just don't belong here, and I'm not good enough. And on the other hand, I was like, but I am here. And everything came together. A miracle happened, and I got childcare. I got out here. I'm physically here. So that means, and I trust in this, that I am meant to be here. I am supposed to be here. And so we started the conference, and I was like too afraid to talk to James because I was like kind of starstruck, and like, I was nervous, and like people were taking photos of him. I was like, I was too afraid to take a photo with him. And I made so many amazing people, made so many beautiful connections at that event. And it was at that event where I started realizing I didn't really have a name for what I did. Like, people asked like, oh, what's your business? And at the time I had two businesses. One was my backyard chicken farm, which I still have, probably still have. And then the other was my, what I was calling my wellness practice. And like, who knows what, like, nobody knows what that is. Basically at that time, I was doing a like primary couple days a week, hands-on healing in the brick and mortar, and I was looking to start growing and scaling. I had started doing a little bit of coaching, but not really. And I had no idea what to call myself. So it was like, it was so elusive. Like, people were like, like they didn't understand. They couldn't connect with what I was talking about. And I remember at that conference, we really had to make some decisions about, you know, where we spend our energy. And at the time, I made the decision to stop putting so much energy on my wellness business that I had no idea what it really was, and go full into, put all my energy, put all my eggs in one basket, into my chicken farm and teaching people how to be backyard chicken farmers. And I did that for a couple months, and it felt like I was climbing and clawing my way up of the hill. And it was like, I wasn't making any money. I wasn't making any progress. I was having family stuff going on. My son was sick for a couple months. And it just, everything came to a screeching halt at the end of 2016. And I had to do some major soul searching. And I realized that, you know what, in order to move forward, I need to take this path of least resistance, meaning I was already making money in my wellness business. Why not just go all in on that? And I think at the time, back in August, when I went to that event and I chose the backyard chicken stuff, I think I was just too scared to really identify who it was that I wanted to become. And so the 2017, you know, January 2017 rolls around, and I decide, you know what, I'm going all in on this wellness business. I'm going to figure out what it is. I'm going to help people on a bigger level. I'm going to start doing something more. At the end of 2016, I did a meditation group, which was really phenomenal. It started everything. It was like, it was the end of November. and in through December. And it was supposed to be a 6-week intro to meditation for entrepreneurs. It was so successful that it went beyond that time for a whole year. And those core, like just the few people who were in that little program of mine became my biggest cheerleaders. They were the foundation of what grew my business to what I call what it is today. And so it was based on all the practices and techniques and all the strategies from Business by Design. But then I started to use it in my own way that made it feel really good for me. And so by January, I was like, okay, well, I can just keep doing this. I can keep putting more offers out there that feel really aligned to me. And by doing that, I started to slowly, incrementally scale. Every single month, it was like my QuickBooks would go like this, and every month it was like I made a $1,500 month. So that was the best month I've ever had. Then it was a $2,000. Then it was a $5,000. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm making more money. I'm doing what I love. I'm rebranding. And I did. I rebranded every part of me. I got a new logo. I was connecting with my clients in this on a deeper level. I was starting to ask, what they wanted and be able to give that to them in a really soulful way. I led my very first solo retreat that June. And by September, I had launched my Phoenix Mentorship, which is my flagship program. And I was scared beyond anything to even do that. But again, we're talking about taking a leap of faith. And it took that whole year of buildup of me doing things I was uncomfortable with, challenging myself, pushing myself to not be stuck in this little box and play so small, challenging myself to think bigger, to be bigger, to show up bigger, to be more consistent, to connect more, to put myself out there in a way I'd never done. And it was paying off month after month after month. It was like I was building all of this momentum. And again, it was support from the BBD tribe. It was the class, taking that course, and it was me literally becoming somebody I had never been before. I was shifting into somebody else. I was shifting into somebody who I wanted to be, the person who I always hoped was in there, but I never could tap into her. And truthfully, it was by the end of 2017 where I started to see that I was actually on track for hitting this crazy, unrealistic goal of $100,000. Like I had this goal all year long, $100,000. I wanted to hit it so badly because I felt like it was so big and it was so elusive. And it was also a signal because back when I went to Business by Design, the live event in August, James had mentioned that he has this group called the Inner Circle. And it's his high-level mastermind. And it's like, you have to already be a six-figure business owner, multiple six-figure business owner. And at the time when he said that in August, I remember feeling like, wow, that's amazing. I would love to be in there, but like, let's be honest, I make $12,000 this year. Like, it's not happening. So part of my brain was like, well, there's a number that I can kind of hold on to. And I would love to be part of that group, but like, it's probably a few years out. And what was crazy was that by the end of 2017, I was like, holy crap, I'm on track for breaking six figures this year. Like that, I mean, totally unexpected, but like totally also intentional to create that. And interestingly enough, I actually received an invitation, personal invitation from James and his team inviting me to apply to be part of the Inner Circle. For me, it was like I opened that package to see that invitation and it was like tears were pouring down my face. I couldn't believe what was happening. And it was like like a year later from where I was to what was happening. And I could not believe how it was all coming together. And it was like, I couldn't believe the opportunity. And there was part of me that, again, was going back to, I'm not worthy. Who am I? The people who are in this group are like these mega Goliaths, and they have this huge following. They're making millions of dollars. And like, who am I to be in this group? Why? Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they sent this to the wrong person. Like, I know my name is on the envelope and it's personally addressed to me and it's written in to me, but maybe they made a mistake. Like, why would they think of me? And I realized, like, it was my own stuff that I had to be able to work on. Again, a whole new level of this fear coming up. And interestingly enough, fast forward, I got in and I've been a part of James Wedmore's inner circle. And it's a very exclusive group of entrepreneurs who are multiple 6- and 7-figure business owners. And I feel so good there. I feel like I belong, but I didn't at the first. I was terrified at first. And what's interesting is that one of James's recent events, we were doing an inner circle mastermind retreat. And at that retreat, we were in San Diego, and I had this crazy spiritual awakening. And I had this download to offer more value to the inner circle group. And what it meant was I was going to lead a meditation for them. Now, I had never, like, some of them maybe had never really felt my work before. Some of them knew what I did. Some of them didn't really know what I did. And it was the first time I was like full on being completely open, being transparent, showing up authentically, and like bearing my soul in front of them. And again, it brought up this nervousness and this fear, but I thought, you know what? I feel really called to do it. And I'm just going to check with James to see if it's even possible. Maybe they don't have time for me to do meditation. And I went up to James the first day in the morning and I said, you know, I feel really called to do a meditation for the group. And I don't know if that's okay, if it fits in your plan. And he was so open and warm. And he's like, of course, yeah, when do you want to do it? And we figured out a time. And I was sitting there waiting for my time to start because he was going to do his intro and then I was going after. And I felt nervousness. I was like, I could feel my heart pounding. It was that same feeling like I felt that first event where I was like, who am I to do this? I don't belong here. Why am I doing this? And all this fear came up, and I heard this voice in my head. All my guides, it felt like they were all just talking to me, and they said, relax. This is not about you. And everything in me just kind of relaxed, and I was able to do the meditation. I had the whole room sitting in a circle. We had amazing energy. There were people who were in tears during the meditation and sharing amazing breakthroughs from the meditation. And another miraculous thing happened at the end of that day, which was that James actually invited me to co-lead his retreat that was happening in 2 weeks. It's for another mastermind group he has called Next Level. And there was going to be almost 100 people there, and he wanted me to be there to be able to help them have a transformational experience. Now, we have to see this perspective. A year ago, I didn't think I belonged in this little room, and how was I worthy? Fast forward a year, and he's invited me to be a co-leader of this event. So if you're telling yourself like, that's not possible, that's special for you, but it's not me, trust me, I never saw that coming. I never in a million years would have ever thought that could happen. And I typically would tell myself, oh, that happens to other people. That doesn't happen to me. But yet here it was happening. And I went to that event. And again, I make sacrifices. I had to make another trip, and it was the best. I couldn't say no. It was the best opportunity. And being at that event at the Next Level Mastermind retreat, when James introduced me to his tribe, he introduced me as Emily Aarons is going to be co-leading this experience the next couple of days. And for me, it was like jaw dropping. Everyone looks at me and they're clapping their hands, welcoming me. But what happened at that event was spectacular. That each and every day, I actually spoke a number of times each day, and I led through guided meditations and visualizations. Every single day, there were people coming up to me, crying, thanking me, hugging me, saying that they've never experienced anything like that. They've never felt that kind of magnitude before. And I was so floored by all of what they were saying, their feedback. It was so incredible. And actually, as a little bit of an aside, if you're still watching, I have those those particular meditations that I led the next level mastermind through, I have those meditations, and there's a way that you can get them. So if you're interested in getting those meditations, they are not available for sale. They're only available through my special link, which I'll talk about later. But there's a way that you can get your hands on those because they are massively powerful and transformational. And I want to be able to share those with you. So anyway, I was at this event. It was amazing. It changed my life again. It was like this whole new level of energy coming in. And I want to kind of close with this message about, what you believe is possible, what you think you're capable of. You have no idea. And frankly, when I even look back in time and I say, wow, who was I in 2016? And oh my gosh, look at all the change that happened in 2017. And here we are nearing the end of 2018. And it's like, I'm another person again. I've also transformed again. And it's like, it just keeps getting better. And the reason why is because I keep evolving. I keep doing the deeper work. I'm constantly looking to grow, to expand, and to help people, to serve more people. So if this video helped you at all to remind you of who you are, what you're here to do, give you hope that there is something out there that can help you, trust me when I say this, I would not be where I am today if it were not for James Wedmore and Business by Design. I just wouldn't. I would still be in the same broke cycles, the same story, fighting with my husband, having no money to show for my business, trading my time for money, feeling like a failure, looking around my life like, how can I do just feeling hopeless and helpless. And I honestly have to say that Business by Design was the answer to my prayers. And I know if this message resonates with you, I know that this course can help you as well. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here and supporting me and for helping me to shine my light. Video number 3 is going to be a mind-blowing one. I actually had a chance to sit down with James and we talked about the 5 common beliefs that will keep you broke. And I honestly feel like even if you've listened to his podcast, even if you've watched him on different things, you have never heard these things before in this way. And I encourage all of you to check out the last video, this bonus video that I did with James. It is incredible. He shares so many great tips that even if you decide you're not going to do Business by Design, or you don't want to hire a coach, or you're like, that's not your thing, these will help you. So I definitely encourage you to check them out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped you. And again, I'm not sharing this stuff and making these videos because I have to. I'm doing it because I want to. And if there's one thing I learned from James is that I can create my business by design. I can fully automate these videos and this launch to support my family, to support my lifestyle, and I can do it because of Business by Design. I learned how to do this through that course. You don't have to trade your time for money anymore. And I mean, right now, when you're watching this video, I might even be having my baby, but this is all done. It's pre-recorded so that we can all enjoy the value of these stories, and I don't have to compromise myself and my family. So if you're looking to do that too, I highly recommend you continue to keep watching and check out. He's going to have a 8-part video series that's coming out very soon. I think it comes out next week. So you want to keep an eye out for that. It is an amazing series. You do not want to miss it. It's like a binge style, Netflix style series. Again, it's nothing like you've ever seen before because James is not like a coach you've ever met before. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you soon. Feel free to message me if you have any questions at all. Lots of love. Keep shining your light.